Your car must be broken a little bit.
Some noise coming out of the back of it. It's like a bang or a crackle or a pop.
It was really loud in the tunnel. Really?
I was actually shocked myself. I was looking around thinking maybe someone had some sort of an issue with their car, but it seemed to be coming from my car. At least now it's quiet because it's parked for the night. So we are in Birmingham because we are halfway on our way to the Players Classic in Goodwood. We have a stand there this weekend. Super hyped. Never been to Players Classic before, so gonna get a little chill today because we've got a long day of driving and setup tomorrow.
Prize they are.
It's back. It's back. This is a bit nostalgic.
This would have been probably one of the first drift event I went to in BDC. This was one of the standout cars.
This is the first, if you're not aware, ever S15 in Europe drift car with a 2JZ. Try and imagine how many there's been since, but this was the first ever. This is Phil Morrison's S15, which was built in 2006, I think, and he bought it back 2 weeks ago. So this is original Driftworks. If you ever, how people know Phil Morrison, in my opinion, is this car and then the V10 M3. However, the rules in drifting changed because this engine obviously is pushed back behind the firewall. So once this changed in drifting, Phil said it's too much hassle to re-engineer all this car. He sold the car and ended up building the 86. So now it's back. And why is it back? Well, Phil has a choice to make because he's coming to the LZ World Tour in Mondello Park. Remember, tickets still on sale. He could choose the simple S15, this S15, or the 86. So he said he hasn't made his mind up yet, so maybe the comments below will let him make his mind up. So you guys think he should take this car, or this car? Last year he took this car. I would love to see this in Mondello Park again. It hasn't been in Mondello Park since probably 2010, maybe? The last time this thing has smoked some tires in Mondello Park. And it's so cool. It's all as it was. This is such a cool car. So we're here at Driftworks today, just picking up some stuff on our way down to Players. If you're a drift fan from Europe, you're going to remember this car instantly. And if you're not, this is one of those cars that sort of was the first big build of drifting. Pro car, 2JZ, you know, engine pushback. This was like the pinnacle of drifting, 2010, 11 maybe. Anyway, let's get out of here before we spend money.
So we kind of tried to leave and got distracted instantly.
Every time you come to Driftworks, you get dragged into Dinosaur because Craig's just building the maddest stuff. It's RX-7, we're trying to figure out what body kit this is, so we're gonna need some help in the comments. I'm thinking it's Ori MMA, you think it's like a Velside, but it's not a Velside kit.
It's not, but it has got that kind of, it's almost like a Mark II outside.
I'm gonna say Ori MMA because they make the wildest stuff like that, but I'm not sure. This is interesting. Old school Ford truck in the Gulf colors with the same engine that was in my old RTR Mustang, because I did an RTR engine, that's Von Gittin Jr.'s spare engine in there, so this thing is going to be crazy lively. And then we got what looks like a normal Vantage, but it's got an LT supercharger.
Jesus.
Supercharged LT V8, 600 horse in an Aston Martin. American V8, which is a lot faster than the no offense guys, but a little bit faster than the UK V8.
British horsepower.
So it looks just like a regular an RX-7. You wouldn't even pass too much remarks.
This is wrecked. Oh, that's great.
Ooh, 2 turbos.
Yeah, twin turbo, 1200 horsepower.
Yeah, Dodge 5 per day. Big.
Like, just sitting out here chilling. Bit of a project, Josh. That could be you, Mazda boy.
That's a bit too much of a project for me, I'm afraid.
It's not convertible enough for Josh, though. You know? Jaguar XJS with an LS in it. That is a sleeper now.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to wear like the tweed jacket
Yes.
and the
Gloves,
racing
leather gloves,
yeah,
yeah.
leather racing gloves, and everyone's like, the next thing. Another car that has the old, the UK motor taken out, put an American one in. Just saying,
Yeah.
there's a theme.
Well, you know.
There's a theme. All right, well, we got to get back on the road and head towards Players and set up. We've got about 4 hours to go to get down to Goodwood. So we're here at the Players Classic in Goodwood. First time at the Goodwood Race Circuit. First time at Players. It always clashed with something before for us. But when we heard it was the 10th anniversary, they were bringing all the big cars out. We had to come. This place is insane. Not only is the backdrop amazing, but every single corner of this venue, there's amazing cars everywhere. So let's get into this video with Josh doing a little run around and a montage. Alright guys, there's way too many cars here. There's like over 1,000 cars. All of them look incredible. They've all been hand selected by the Players crew. So if we were to feature them all, that would take a million years. So what we've decided to do is play a little game. Josh and I are going to pick our 3 favorites and our reasons for them at the show and let you guys in the comments decide which is the Drift Games car of the show. So I'm going to start with my first pick, and it's an unusual one. This Honda Prelude to me is just wild. We actually found the owner, who is?
Yasmin.
Yasmin has built this. This is one of my top 3 cars of the show. And it's because I never thought anyone would make a Honda Prelude look this cool.
Oh, they're cool anyway, but I made it better. Yeah.
What body kit is this?
So they're JZX 100 front and rear bumpers, and then the side skirts are S15.
So JZX front bumper, JZX rear bumper, S15 side skirts.
Yeah.
And the paint job is original or?
No, so my boyfriend owns his own body shop, so he painted it for me. But obviously, as you can tell, it's S13.
That's exactly
two-tone.
I thought. So you've built the biggest mix match of
Yeah,
a
so it's a
couple of
really
cars.
confused Honda Prelude.
So this is a front wheel drive car, which I actually like more than most rear wheel drive cars that I actually normally like.
Yeah.
And you've done like a really cool design on the roof of the car.
Yeah, so that's all lace curtain.
So all lace curtain.
Yeah.
With a bit of shine or lacquer over it. It's very, very
Yeah, so
nice.
it's got a pearl in it, and then obviously like the grey from the bottoms on top, just to make it a little bit darker.
This thing is just beautiful. It's on the VS's, the stance is great.
Yeah.
And it's super clean as well, like the car itself. I absolutely love it. This is one of my picks of the show. There you go, JZX and S15 bumpers on a Honda Prelude with S13 colours. Smashed it. Unbelievable car. All right, for my second pick of the show, Chris's, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, Subaru SVX, which is a very ugly car.
Standard form.
Yeah. But this one's beautiful. I've never seen ever an SVX that I went, that's a nice car. Give me a 10-sentence rundown on the madness that this is.
Okay, so S14A Vertex front bumper, blended the top of the OEM bumper into it to make the light line right. Vertex side skirts, obviously extended height and length.
Also from an S14?
Also an S14A, I made the over fenders, made the rear spats, painted it myself, bagged it myself, did it all.
And like when you started, did you just go, with the vision, or did you just find the car, or what happened?
Found the car first, and then just kind of like
Thought about it?
just brainstormed it internally and just thought things. I thought I had kind of like the same width.
What
as an
Chris has
F14A.
learned is that all S14s, S13s, and S15, well, maybe not the S15, don't look great in standard form. And then you put nice kits on them and they look great. So technically, if you take the same approach with the same parts to any 90s or 80s car, you get something weird and pretty.
The probability of it working out is pretty high.
Yeah, I have to look at the back end of this car, because this bit is kind of, to me, acceptable in the styling of the era. But the back end of this car is just so random. The way they've run. So you've had to do all this around the over fender, around the lights.
Yeah. So I just basically went off the original rear quarter, blew it out. The original arch was squared, so I just obviously just made it round.
That's the bit that makes it look really ugly. Is the squared rear arch.
It was the front bumper for me and the rear arch.
And now it looks beautiful. And it's got this weird. This car is just so unusual to me.
I know.
But I love this. This is back in fashion now as well. This whole.
Like that kind of heck
Like it went out, it went out of fashion for so long, and now it's all back in fashion. This full rear lamp across the rear end of the car.
I love it.
This thing is beautiful. Chris absolutely
Dude, thank you so much.
killed it. So there you go. Randomly, a Subaru SVX is my second choice. All right, so pick number 3 for me of the show is this beautiful wide arched NSX. And this is Jigan, who owns the car. He's a little bit shy, we've just caught him off guard, but this thing is just beautiful. So, first and foremost, what's this kit?
Sources GT 101.
So it's a one-of-one kit.
Yeah, it just landed from Japan just 3 weeks ago.
So this was built in Japan. The kit, one-of-one, and you already had the NSX. How long were you waiting for this kit? How long did it take? Because I've never seen anything like this.
It's just 6 months waiting. Buy from Japan, and the 2018 big first Nokia demo car. 2018.
So this thing has all the goodies. This car looks like it's a track car. It doesn't look like a street car, but it is a street car.
Yeah, big car.
And it's probably 2 feet wider than the standard NSX, which is pretty wide as it is. This is beautiful. So you went with the Vogue racing wheels. You've got basically the perfect color for an NSX, which is the red. And inside, super clean low mileage car. This thing is absolutely beautiful. This is one of my top 3 cars of the show. I love the wide body, love the color combo. Never seen this body kit before on an NSX, and I don't know, the NSX is aggressive enough as it is, but this definitely takes it way over the edge. It's another level. Well, dude, thank you so much for showing us the car. This thing is just unbelievable.
Davey, also same name as you.
Yeah, so my second name is EGAN. So okay. But it's definitely not my car, nor my kit.
Okay, so for my pick, I'm going to go for 3 different picks, I think, from Dave. So the first one is the BMW E36 that is built by Kaisers.
So this man has designed quite a lot of cars over the years.
I think my favourite cars actually over the years.
Some of our favorite cars over the years in the virtual world, and then they became reality, which is such a cool thing that you just design it and it becomes a real thing. We saw this kit, this is the Live to Offend kit, right?
It is, yeah.
And we saw one at SEMA last year.
Yeah.
Fell in love with it, but to see one here.
This is my own personal build with my own body kit on. It's the first in the UK and Europe as well. We've had a few built in the US.
This one is just to look fantastic.
Yeah, but I drive it as well. I'm excited to get everything aligned so I can drive it as low as possible. You know, I want to use it at the end of the day.
Do you know what I love about this car? And it's just, I mean, I know it's Josh's pick, but what I love about this specifically is I really got to a point with E36s where I went, they're done now. You either go OEM plus, or the kits are kind of overdone, that were done, and they were all very bolt-on and kind of, as my wife would say, Lego cars that kind of just all had like rivets everywhere, and that style was kind of going out. But now to see something that actually accentuates all the lines of the car, looks a whole fresh new look for an E36.
I almost think it's incredible that like it's not like a bolt-on kit almost. It's like you've essentially just extended the car in such like it's like the car's within the kit almost.
That's my favorite part of the car. Is this?
Is it?
Yeah. Because I've never seen anyone do anything.
It's like it's like a signature kind of LTO kind of thing.
It's just a cool little addition where you go. Some people just leave a big gap. But you guys actually filled it with some vents, which is really cool.
I almost find it funny. This is the way I almost describe this kit. It's like it's almost like you put the car on Photoshop and you kind of just like pinched it out and then got the arch and just squeezed that out. It's like it really is looking around it. It's still the same lines of the original car, but it's just been extended out in a very nice, stylish way.
This thing is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing us it. It's so cool to see one in Europe, and we've seen them in the States. So that's your third pick, Josh. We got 2 and 1 to go.
So here is my second pick, which is very different to yours because
This is very different than mine.
and obviously it's a small car because I love small cars, and you can't really get any more smaller than a Mini, I think.
This is a nice looking Mini, though. To be fair.
It's not how it looks though. There's
Tell
more.
me about it, 'cause-
There's more to it. So I'm here with the person that built the car. Give us a quick 10 sentences of how ridiculous this car is.
Okay, so it's a 2-litre TSI. It's out of a Golf R S3 type thing. About 430 brake at the minute, but it kept spinning on the dyno, so it needs to go to a hub dyno.
I was speaking earlier. So this is a fresh chassis, even though it's an old chassis.
Yeah, so you can buy from Heritage pretty much every panel for a Mini brand new. So pretty much everything on this has been replaced and is brand new metal.
So it's pretty much an old car that's also brand new that has a ridiculous amount of horsepower and no weight at all.
It's also DSG, which is the main thing about it.
So you can see there's all the cooling and the fuel cell up in the front. Can we just go around to the back because that's really where it's ridiculous.
So,
Squeeze the engine in.
Jeez. I mean squeezed.
Literally squeeze.
There's an engine with a little bit of a car on top of it. So 840 kilos and over 400 horsepower.
Yeah, but we'll be over 5.
I get it now. Because you said a Mini and I went, really? And I'm like, yeah, I get it now. The attention to detail is like
The inside's incredibly neat as well. Ridiculous.
all the carbon seats to keep the weight down, all the switch panels.
Even they've kept like buttons for the DSG box instead of the actual shift. I like it a lot.
Whatever notion this was at
Thank
one
you.
point, I'm sure it seemed like a ridiculous idea, and now this little package is a real car. You guys are crazy. Just to come up with a Golf 4, will be over 500 horsepower, 840 kilo Mini. That's all brand new parts. That it isn't. So it looks like an old car, but technically it's a brand new car.
Yeah.
Is it roadworthy?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it's quite
roadworthy,
legal.
trackworthy. It's everything.
Josh, that's going to be tough to beat.
And it's purple.
That it is.
Doesn't sound like that should come out of a Mini, does it?
Of course, for Josh's final pick, it had to be an MX-5, but not a very normal MX-5.
As you can see from the first shot, it is far from standard.
You thought you had some crazy MX-5s. This thing is bananas. So this is a Mark II.
So the funny thing about this, we're actually on the way into the show and it was parked in front of us and I don't think it idles very well, so it was off. You couldn't really hear it like you would with a normal MX-5. And then it started and my God, it was loud.
We actually thought this was a 1UZ because that would be kind of a cheap conversion for an MX-5. It is not a 1UZ
So
at
is
all.
this an LS2?
This is a 6-litre LS2 in a Mark II MX-5. Now, we don't know where the owner is.
We don't know where the owner is, so we have to...
We're going to do some speculating, a little bit of speculating.
But one thing I do like is, you would think that this is a show car, it's a shave bay, wire tuck, all clean, everything relocated. But we just heard that he was on track at Japfest in Silverstone. So he tracks this thing, actually
Yeah, it's actually-
hard drives it.
It's a track car. So this is a Mark II with
I don't know what this body kit is. Maybe you guys know in the comments. I think it's like an RX-7 body kit molded in, because I've seen Ori MMA kits and stuff like this, but there could be in Mark II MX-5 kits.
I don't know. I have a feeling I've seen something similar to this. Maybe it is something custom. I don't know. Everything about it, the attention to detail is there.
The attention to detail is amazing, and obviously we've got the fuel lines. Everything is very, very functional. It's got the aero discs on the front, which is pretty cool.
That's a big thing of the show. A lot of people have aero discs.
A lot of people have aero discs, and it's got like the deep dish BBS on the back. The rear of the car has like a central twin exit here. It's got super wide. I don't know if you guys can see how wide this car is compared to a normal MX-5 Mark II. Nice spoiler. It's got a very funky hardtop on it that makes it look almost like a coupe.
I forgot the name for this, but this is very rare and very expensive. I think it's from America. But yeah, it completely changes the line of the car with the hardtop.
Yeah, because it is no longer a convertible. It is a coupe. Bit of revving going on?
Scared me.
It drove here to this show because we were behind it, as Josh mentioned on the way in. It's road registered, it's also a race car, and I think that's the best of both worlds, one of these.
That's my main point from this show. I know a lot of people like all the show stuff and everything, but I like the functionality of a car. I like it not just to be a show car, I think it makes it even better if it's a driven car. So if a car drives in it, if it's on a trailer, that's like an extra 25 points for me. out of he hasn't done the math on out of how much, maybe 30, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so we were actually planning on just finishing off this video, but this caught Dave's eye and we're throwing a bonus one into the mix.
Yeah, this one's not in the top threes, but this is actually my favorite type of car in the whole world. So Ralph Well Porsche 911 is the car that I would dream of above R34 GTRs and everything. This in black is exactly what I think is just absolute automotive perfection. It is amazing. Just sitting here in front of the coffee shop, in front of the tacos. This show is just wild that there's stuff like this just everywhere. Alright guys, so that is day one of Players. We've got two amazing features coming up in our next two videos of some cars that were not in this video but blew our minds completely. And of course we're counting down to the LZ World Tour event in July in Mondello Park, where a lot of these cars are now going to be going to the show. Everybody seems to be coming to the LZ event in Mondello Park. So if you haven't got tickets, jump on the Mondello Park website now or the lzworldtour.com website, grab your tickets, it's going to be wild. We're also very close to the launch of the Drift Game Studios, July 2nd. We have got a very busy 2 weeks ahead of us to get it finished, but you guys are going to see it 8 o'clock, July 2nd. That's when the video goes live. We're going to film a big movie for the opening, and I'm pretty sure that none of you are going to expect what we've built in this warehouse in Dublin City. We can't even believe it ourselves. So all that's to come on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now, because I think like 50% of people don't subscribe. Make sure you throw a comment below and let us know, of the 6 cars we've picked, which is your favorite. And we're going to count up all the comments and we'll pick a winner. Josh has picked his 3, I've picked my 3, and we got a ton more to show you from this show. So on the next episode, you'll see all that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you then.